delicious. Hey everybody, welcome to Hat Hole Home Video. It is time for a pickups video. It has been a while since I've talked about the VHS tapes that have been entering the collection. By the way, I just killed a super big eider spay down here, so I'm a little, I'm not a fan, and dealing with some primal lizard brain emotions, fight or flight emotions, and I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to an eider spay, flight generally wins. So I'm a little distracted, but I'm gonna focus in because we're here. So yeah, I have been picking up VHS tapes. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, that's a great place to see some of the real-time VHS pickups and thrifting pickups in general that I do come across. I forget if it's hat.hole. You know, I should really prepare. Speaking of preparing, let me turn off the dehumidifier 1 second. There we go. Now, I have consciously made the choice between audio quality and mold in my lungs. And I chose audio quality. You only live once, right? No, so yeah, Jeff, definitely check me out on Instagram, because I pretty much post things as I find them there. I don't show everything. I like to, you know, keep a little back. I show a little ankle, but, you know, it's going to take a few more dates before you get any farther than that with me, okay? So right off the bat, now if I remember right, not too long ago, I came into possession of a large quantity of VHS tapes that a friend of a friend's grandfather passed away, and they bequeathed his VHS collection onto me, which there were quite a few super cool things in there, so that was awesome. One thing that was in there that was super cool, no, I take that back. I take that back. That was Battle Queen 2000, wasn't it? It wasn't Heavy Metal 2000. I picked this up actually, it's been a little while. See, that's the thing. I have been amassing these tapes, and it's like, oh, I gotta do a pickups video, and then I keep forgetting, and other videos come up, and what continually happens is I start to forget which videos I put on Instagram, which videos made it into a pickups video, what haven't you seen yet? So I don't think you've seen this yet. I've had it a little while, but it's Heavy Metal 2000. Once again, a step closer, and we will get a couple steps closer in today's video to completing our Julie Strain VHS collection. Gone but not forgotten. The B-movie queen herself, Julie Strain. I'm very happy to pick this up, and it is an ex-rental, which makes it even more exciting for me. A Hollywood videotape. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And we might as well, because I've got some Julie Strain in the pile, we might as well, you know, much like Julie Strain, the Julie Strain content in this video, it's going to be top heavy, okay? We've got a big one, Return to Savage Beach. This was one that was eluding my collection for quite some time. It's one of the all-time greats, up with Dallas Connection. To me, it's Dallas Connection, Day of the Warrior, Return to Savage Beach. Is it Day of the Warrior or Way of the Warrior? Now I look like an idiot, because I'm like, this is the movie of... It's like if I was like talking about Citizen Kane, and I was like, the greatest movie of all time is Citizen Krang. Everyone should know this. It's film, people. Citizen Krang, see it. I look like an idiot. Is it Day? I feel like it's Day of the Warrior. I think I was right. I think I was right up front. But Return to Savage Beach, it's this era of Andy Sedaris movie that I just absolutely love. It's like the Julie Strain, Shia Marks, like that period of time. God, what was the other gal's name that's from this era? No. Well, Carrie Westcott was in those. There was another, I can't remember her name. You know what? We're moving forward, because that's what we're doing. I could pause and I could like figure out what I'm trying to say, but we're not going to do that. We're going to move forward with our third and final Julie Strain pickup of this video. It is, of course, Sorceress 2, another one that for a long time was a little too expensive on eBay. And finally, this was one I did not discover in, by the way, neither of these did I discover in the wild. These were eBay purchases, but both of them were just surprising, spontaneous, like cheap finds where I've seen them on there for years for commanding high prices, and all of a sudden here they are. And they're rock bottom prices. This is also an X-rental, I should point out, Sorceress 2, an X-rental from, I guess, Video Locators. Does any Video Locator fans out there? I guess that's the name of the video store. Rated NC-17, by the way. Woohoo! Get a little close-up of that. Va-va-va-voom. I'm interested to watch this movie. I watched the original Sorceress. I still have the original Sorceress VHS that I got a million years ago. I watched it as a teenager at some point, rented it. Pretty boring. Pretty boring. But, you know, it's got the things that it that you're there for. So it's got those. By the way, did you see my hat? It's fantastic. I picked it up at a garage sale for 50 cents for 2 Joe Camel caps. I couldn't be more thrilled about it because I think we really got to start letting the kids know. Kids, smoke. You got to smoke. Yes, it's dangerous, but guess what? It's at the store. Just like fruit by the foot or bubble jug. You can the way you go to the store and you buy a Mountain Dew, you can go to the store and buy a pack of smokes. So let's do that. You have fun. Look at this fun character having a good time. That's all. Kidding, of course. So next up, I mean, we're definitely sticking with a theme here of some boobalicious movies. We've got an old 80s comedy, a movie that I have a very vivid video store nostalgic memory for, and that is Up the Creek. Look at that cover. Is there a greater 80s cover? It's kind of like a National Lampoon's Vacation cover, but, you know, aquatic themed, screwball comedy. It's got a bunch of good people in it. It's got Tim Matheson from Animal House. It's also got Stephen Furst from Animal House. He was also the voice of that big guy. What was the big guy's name in the Buzz Lightyear of Star Command cartoon? Doesn't matter. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. But he's in Dream Team. That's his other big thing. He's in Dream Team. I remember, I must have rented it at some point, but my clearest memories of this movie were being on the shelf in the video store that I grew up next to. So I have like memories of being, 6 and 7 years old and seeing this cover and being like, oh my God, it's funny and it has boobs and like screwball comedies were like the greatest thing for a kid because it's like you want the titillation and you want the boobies and the bawdiness and the sexiness, but then there's like goofy comedy and wacky far out characters. It's like I don't know, I wish screwball comedies were still a thing. I think they had a golden age in the 80s especially, but in the 90s too. And then I guess you kind of had your Harold and Kumars and your Dude, Where's My Car and your Van Wilder, that kind of stuff. That was like the last era of like sort of screwball comedy. You got American Pie. I guess you could put in there too. Not a huge fan, but that's probably as close as you got like in the modern era. That's like the last gasp of the screwball comedy. Bring it back. Bring it back. Then we also have a big box. Look at this disgusting beast. It's The Tormentors, and it's just a horrifically exploitative cover, but I'm all for that. It's really gross. It looks like it was probably in somebody's basement. For some reason it says Vacation on the bottom. I don't know if that's going to focus. Never mind. It just handwritten says Vacation on it. You don't need to see it. This also at some point was a rental tape. No distinguishing features on it, but it does have all of the telltale marks of an ex-rental. The rating, the "you will be charged if you do not rewind this tape," the some sort of inventory barcode. We know this was on a video store shelf at some point in its life, and I'm happy that it's made it here into the collection. A wild gang of bikers who shamelessly idolize the Napsies, I feel like you probably can't say that word on YouTube anymore, brutalizes anyone or anything that stands in their way, dealing in illegal weapons, assassinations, power, and violence. They seem invincible until they push one man too far. When his girlfriend is savagely murdered, he declares a personal war. But to destroy them, he has to join them. Dun dun dun. Awesome. Dance, 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 awesome. So those are the recent pickups, but I did want to show you one last thing. And I might start doing this in some of the pickup videos where I have a lot of things in here that I just want to like show off too. It's not necessarily the new things coming in, but it's things that I want to show you and share with you. So one of those things, and I'm sure I've shown it before in a live stream or a pickups video, but it's a piece of history for me, and it is this tape. And you will notice the familiar faces of Jack Black and Kyle Gass, Tenacious D. What is this tape, though? What is this tape? Great question. Well, first of all, I don't know if it's official, huh? Because it still has this in here, and it's a blank tape. Huh, that's weird. Isn't that interesting? You know what this is? This is a bootlegged video from a Tenacious D live show that I attended back in 2001. 20 years ago, I was at this concert at the State Theater in Minneapolis. The State Theater, Minneapolis, or St. Paul? Either way, at the State Theater, I was at this show with my buddy Kevin. We had a great time. It was really the height of Tenacious D. It was before right as their first studio album was coming out. Before that, their music existed in bootlegs. This was an incredible show, and I stumbled onto this tape at a local store called Mr. Zero's. It's a store that mainly deals in a lot of music, but they have a lot of VHS tapes too, a lot of collectibles. And I was looking through the VHS tapes, and I say, oh my God, I went to this concert. At that time it was probably 15 years ago, whenever I picked this tape up. So I just thought that was incredibly cool. I watched it and got to really relive like a moment in my life that somebody decided to secretly record. And back then, man, like the smallest camcorders would have been like this big. So they had to, I don't know how they snuck that in. I don't know how they were filming it. But good for them. Whoever you were, good on you. I'd like to buy you a beer sometime, because you gave me that. Super cool to see. Super fun little piece of bootleg history. Super fun. So there you go. I think that's going to be our pickups video for today. I'm glad to finally do one again. It's been a little while. Thank you, everybody. Whether you like, whether you subscribe, whether you comment, whether you watch the videos and just lurk in the darkness. Whether you're a patron, thank you patrons. Thank you to everyone, however you interact with or just simply enjoy this channel. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me, and it's so much fun to get to do this with you and for you. So whether you are a dirty dog sleeping in the sun or an alley rat eating up the night, you know that you always are welcome here at Hat Hole Home Video. Bye-bye.